podcast has been a long time coming, and I'm so excited because today is going to be a really epic one for visibility. It's going to be amazing for branding, if that is something that you want to really focus on in your business journey. And joining me today is one of my closest friends and the co-founder of our course, Passive Freedom. We are currently in Tulum, enjoying the beautiful weather in Tulum, and we've gone on many travels, so this is going to be such a juicy episode where we may get distracted from the topic, but it's all good. And I would love her to introduce herself. So, Cara Fillion, would you like to introduce your story?
Hello, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here. My name is Cara. I am a business and women empowerment coach. My journey actually started in 2019. So I decided that I was not made for the typical 9-to-5 life. So I started my business, started traveling, and everything unfolded. So I was just kind of like taking a step and new doors were opening. And here I am now, 5 years later. I've traveled around the world, worked with thousands of women on business building, mindset, empowerment, branding. And yeah, I'm excited to see what else is going to unfold. I think it's such a great journey to choose yourself and choose to walk an unconventional path.
Yeah, I think it was one of the things that really made me become inspired to follow my own freedom journey, because we've known each other a couple of years and we originally started working together. We became good friends, and I know right at the start of getting to know you, I saw your brand and everything was screaming freedom, and that for me was so inspiring at the time because I was just starting my entrepreneurial journey and I really had this value of freedom in my life. That was the direction I wanted to take it, and just being able to see someone live that and embody that was just next level for me. So I know the power of your branding, but I would love to know what you personally feel has contributed like the most to the success of your personal brand and how that has like tripled into your business.
Ooh, I love that question, and I love branding. I feel like having a personal brand comes with having personal power. So I would say the personal power behind my brand is what contributed to the success the most, because I became so aware of who I am, what I stand for, what my values are, my self-belief, and I allowed myself to be a big dreamer, and that, as a result of that, it reflected into my brand. And a concept I discovered is the more I live, the more I thrive. So my personal brand is really a reflection of who I am, what lights me up, what brings joy to my life, what expands me, what pushes me, what excites me. And I live every day asking myself, how can I make today remarkable? How can I make today the best day ever? And as a result of me living my truth, I get to create this personal brand and inspire people to tag along and join me on this journey of recreating themselves and discovering who they are and portraying that in their own personal brand. So for me, personal power equals personal branding.
Yeah, that's so powerful. And I know personally it's something that I really identify as being an introvert. So like it took a long time for me to be like, that's okay. Like, you know, that's okay to be part of your brand as well. You don't have to be super extroverted and, you know, loud and the center of attention to actually have a successful brand. You can be your complete self, and actually that's more sustainable in the long run, and that actually creates a stronger brand because you're able to carry it for such a long period of time and just be yourself, right? And again, it might be a season that you're in where you feel more introverted, and then it could be like a summer where you're in a more extroverted season. Again, it's very fluid, and that's super important as well, I think, for people to understand, because it could hold them back, right? It could be like, oh, well, people or my audience know me for one thing, and then if I change, like, is that going to disrupt like my brand in itself? So, I mean, that's what I would, and I've had these conversations, that's what I suspect holds people back sometimes. But I would also love to know, like, I know you work with a lot of amazing women on their branding. What do you see as like a common theme that holds them back from, I know you coined the term the showstopper factor, so what holds them back from really just embodying that?
Yeah, that is such a great question. And I would say that from my own personal experience and having worked with thousands of women now, the biggest factor is fear. It's the fear of being seen. It's the fear of stepping into the light. Because in order to have a personal brand that is so strong and unique and really stands out, it requires you to step in the spotlight and say, "Here I am. This is who I am. This is what I stand for. Are you joining me or not? At the end of the day, I don't care. This is where I'm going, and I'm inviting you to come with me." So it takes that level of fierce belief in your vision and confidence and power. And so what holds people back is the fear of being seen, because what comes with being seen is judgment, it's criticism, it's being able to face people not agreeing, not liking you. And that's terrifying for a lot of people. And for me, it all started with my journey in pageants. When I was 14 years old, I started doing pageants. And I had to step into the light and say, this is what I'm passionate about. I want to build a women empowerment movement. I want to help young women feel empowered and confident. So I had to be seen in this dream of mine. I had to be seen in this passion. And that came with judgment. It came with people not agreeing with what I believed in and what I was so excited about. And it was hurtful, but at the end of the day, that vision was so strong that it overrides everything. Like it was able to override the negative of being seen. So when you have a vision and a purpose that's so strong and you really believe in it, the flip side of the light, which is people maybe not agreeing with you, judging you, comes with so much fulfillment. So when you get crystal clear on that vision, you're able to be confident and keep walking regardless if people are agreeing with you or not, because you believe in it.
Yeah, that's so true. And I know sometimes it is like a lengthy process, but there are things that you can do like right here, right now, today, that will just elevate that every single day, and you'll be able to show up stronger like tomorrow and the day after and the day after that, right? So for the women who want to kind of like turn the narrative that they've currently maybe got, if they're not feeling like they want to thrive in visibility or amplify that side of themselves, like what can they do right now? Like what's one thing that you would say can really help give them like the ultimate confidence to step into that spotlight?
Yeah, I would say start with the self-discovery. You might think that you know yourself, but honestly, I would challenge you to go and explore even deeper. Who are you? What excites you to get out of bed this morning, like in the morning? What excites you to get up and go chase that big dream, that big vision that you have? So get really, really clear on who you are, what you stand for, what lights you up, what's that big vision, what's that big mission, and the steps are going to start lining up. And something else I want to say is challenge yourself every single day to do something uncomfortable. Not just with showing up, but everything. Do a workout that feels really uncomfortable. Go talk to someone. Go network. Go introduce yourself. Put an event together. Like do something that gets you uncomfortable. And the more comfortable you become being uncomfortable, you're going to build that resilience. You're going to build that personal power, and you're going to build that personal brand. So do something every day that gets you uncomfortable, and get comfortable being uncomfortable. I would say this is something that you can start doing now. And confidence is built with repetition. So doing it over and over again. Like the first live is not going to be your best live, but then you'll do it again and it gets better and better every time.
Yeah, I mean, if we watch some of the big names in like the coaching industry or even like just business itself, if you watch their very first videos, they're like 3 lives behind where they are now, right? Or like 30 or 300. Like they've come such a long way. And like you say, it's just showing up for yourself all the time and keeping your word. That like you start trusting yourself, and that trust then builds that confidence. Is such a big ripple effect. That's incredible. So what's amazing though is Cara is going to be talking so much more about this in our upcoming festival, which is called Be Seen. And it is a visibility festival for trailblazing women who want to amplify their visibility this year, and they don't have to follow a roadmap of showing up on social media every single day to do that. There's so many different ways to explore that, whether it's being in alignment with branding, with messaging, having a strategy that feels really good to you, and then supporting that with daily energetics to keep showing up for yourself. So if you are interested in that, then please sign up. Everything is in the show notes, and we will be super excited to see you in there. So thank you, Cara, for joining me today. I know we'll probably do another podcast sometimes. If you want to follow Cara on Instagram and actually see her branding in action, which I highly recommend, then again, her Instagrams are going to be in the show notes as well. So do you have any last words for us?
Well, thank you for having me. This was a great conversation, and I'm excited for the Be Seen Festival. There's so much more coming. I'll be diving deeper into the concept of the showstopper factor and how to really embody it. So if that's something you're interested in, I highly recommend to join us for the festival.
Yeah, it's so good. I've done her showstopper factor before, and it's so powerful. So even just for that one masterclass, there are 9 speakers. Even for that one masterclass, it is worth showing up. So thank you so much for listening. And if you want to be part of the Rebel Movement membership, again, everything is in the show notes, and there's an exclusive offer, so we will see you inside.